120,000 people that have gone to all of the neighboring countries.
안녕하세요. 오늘도 운동하기를 실천하고 있는 동사랑포입니다. 지금 마스크팩을 하고 있어요, 여러분. 여러분, 피부관리 신경 쓰셔야 됩니다, 여러분. 운동만 한다고 다가 아니에요, 여러분. 피부관리도 항상 신경을 쓰셔야 됩니다, 여러분. 오늘은 2월 26일. 오늘 2월 26일 토요일이에요. 러시아가 우크라이나를 침공했죠. 침공. 예. 불쌍한 우크라이나 사람들. 아이고. 자, 일단 그렇다라도 저도 운동을 열심히 하도록 하겠습니다. 팔굽혀펴기 조금이랑 스트레칭만 할게요. 너무 피곤합니다. 스트레칭은 씻으면서 했고요. 오늘 걷는 것도 엄청 많이 걸었고요. 아이고야. 역시 운동할 때 시민이죠.
Border situations, there are a large number that have crossed into Moldova, but there are many more to follow. And so far, those borders are open, and this is something that's tremendously important in a dynamic situation like this.
Now, again, if you would like to help people in Ukraine who may be in need of the very basic things, shelter, food, water, just go to cnn.com/impact. You're going to find resources there, several ways you can help if you so wish. All right, you ordinary Ukrainians taking up arms, ready to fight the Russian aggressor. Coming up here on CNN Newsroom, we talk to one Ukrainian ready for battle and find out why he says Vladimir Putin will not win. That's coming up.
I see that you are alone here with the kids. Where is your husband or partner, family?
He fights for Ukraine. That's all.
Of course! My dad's nice. Dad! This is Mickey.
Hello, Mr. Fardo.
Please, call me sir. Wow, the supermarket here's got it so big. That's my drinks.
Oh, sir, I'll take care of the drinks.
Yeah. Okay. I'm hungry. Hi, here, take your picture. I'm full. Come on, we have a long drive back.
Sir, let me drive for you.
That's Central Hub. This part of Tarlac has really developed.
Sir, this is my train.
What do you think of me? Cheap?
That's not what I meant, sir.
Just kidding.
Sir, I'll go ahead.
Thanks. Till next time, Miggy.
Nice one, Bob!
travel the world, make sure the world travels with you. Check in, log on, and get connected with all of the latest developments at your fingertips. CNN Partner Hotels, connected to your world.
For World Sport, I'm Amanda Davis, and this is CNN.
Russian forces keeping up their barrage on the city of Kyiv overnight, the invasion moving to the streets of the capital as Ukraine's military battled to hold back advancing troops in multiple locations. We've also been getting pictures from Kyiv of an apartment building that was struck by either a missile or a rocket. It's hard to tell. Images and video, though, from the scene show a large impact. It's about some 10 stories up that building, and you can just see the damage. The city's mayor says emergency services were at the scene. The extent of casualties not yet known. In a statement, Russia's Ministry of Defense claims its strikes were not targeting residential areas. Peter Zalmayev is director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative. Taras Berezovets is a political analyst. They are near Kiev, and they join me now. Peter, I'm going to start with you because I had the most extraordinary conversation with you. I've interviewed you numerous times over the course of the build-up to this conflict, and there you were driving out of the city on the phone with your family and saying to me, I'm going to go back and fight. Bring me up to date on what has happened since then.
Well, indeed, we were able to, Taras and I, we had to smuggle our families out of Kiev. We had a note of warning, a very urgent warning that our lives were in danger for a variety of reasons. Finally, we were able yesterday to get our folks to safety. We're now, Taras and I are heading back to Kiev. There's fighting around the city, around the perimeters. They're trying to surround the city. We're trying to find out which routes we can take to reach the capital and join up with resistance there. But what Taras and I witnessed, and that's what's important to know, that the entire country, and we haven't seen anything like this since 1940s, has risen up. You have kids, you have teenagers, you have old men, you have grandmothers arming themselves in units of territorial defense, which simply means that Vladimir Putin shall not pass.
And Taras, I didn't realize that you were in the same position until just now. What are your plans?
Well, like Peter said, we're heading back to Kiev. Whatever happens, Putin is not going to win. We see it as Putin hordes are invading our country from all directions. They were trying to seize control over our capital, Kiev, using every unhuman technique. Well, everybody in the world should understand. Putin is a murderer. Yesterday, he gave an order to start a rocket launch attack against orphanage near Kiev, effectively killing several kids. I think it's just the right time for the whole world to act. Act now. Save Ukraine now, because we see the only thing which Putin understands is force. And according to Ukrainian authorities, the Russian military forces for the last 2 days, 3,500 people killed. And we see that Ukrainian armed forces have been very effective in repelling Putin's attack against Ukrainian cities. Not a single Ukrainian big city has been captured so far.
And just to explain, last night the president made it clear that this was a very dire moment and that everything was on the line. We're hearing now from the government that they have held back the Russian advances around the city. What do you think is going to happen now? Peter, let's go to you.
Well, it's too soon to predict, obviously. Ukraine is facing the world's second largest army, which has shown, as Taras has said, that it will not stop at anything. It's already committed, in plain view, over the last 2 days, it's committed a whole series of war crimes. That is enough probably to send the whole gang, Putin and his company, buddies and cronies, to The Hague and then to prison for lives. It's too soon to tell, but it's obvious to all military experts. The Pentagon is confirming that Blitzkrieg, the short war of shock and awe, has completely failed. Putin is getting his face kicked in, his nose kicked, he's getting bloodied. Like, he didn't expect this kind of resistance. His speech yesterday, appealing to Ukrainian armed forces, telling them to, give up on their drug-addicted president and rise up, shows, first of all, desperation, shows that he's desperate, shows that he is also detached from reality. He's honestly thinking that Ukrainians wait to be liberated by the Russians. He has another thing coming. For the last 8 years, thanks to Vladimir Putin, time and again, first it was in 2014, and now and the second time is today, that Ukrainians are realizing that they are a nation to reckon with. And this national identity flowering is actually very much due to Vladimir Putin. So Ukrainians have a lot to thank him for.
Yeah, and Taras, to that point, I mean, let's say the worst happens and the government falls. I was here in 2014 at the Maidan. I was then in Crimea when the Russians came in down there. Do you think that Vladimir Putin, even if he puts in a puppet government, do you think he realizes what the mood of the Ukrainian people is right now? They have already thrown out 2 pro-Moscow presidents. Does he think that another one would do any better?
Michael, to put it bluntly, I don't care, and I think all Ukrainians don't care what Putin thinks of our country, of our nation. Putin, like I said, he's a murderer, and he effectively turned Russia into North Korea for the last 2 days. And Russians as a nation would pay a huge price for this. I'm absolutely sure of that. Whatever happens, Ukrainians are not going to surrender. Even if at some point we're going to lose some parts of our territories, and it looks very much like we might so, it doesn't change anything for us. This is our country and this is our homeland. Peter Zalmayev, originally born in Donetsk. I'm born in Kerch, mostly Russian-speaking city in Crimea. And we both have had to leave our cities in 2014. But we're not going to leave anymore. This is our country. This is our capital. And Vladimir Putin is not going to take control over it, whatever happens. He will pay a huge price for this. And I'm pretty sure that the Russian people, actually, they have to be along the president. If they are not going to protest against Putin's regime, they have to face the fact that Russia should be going under the severe sanctions. And I'm asking again, US and European politicians, act now. Be sure that Ukraine is not going to surrender, but we need your help. We need your assistance now.
Michael, with your permission, I've coordinated with my colleagues, Ukrainian Americans and Ukrainians, a very short list of what can and should be done. Obviously, SWIFT goes without saying. SWIFT should be turned off for Russia. And already Macron of France, the French president, Italy is on board. The only recalcitrant country is Germany. That Germany has to be brought on board very quickly. All assets belonging to all Russian oligarchs should be seized immediately. The Russian Sovereign Wealth Fund, which is $650 billion. Keep in mind that much of it sits on the ledgers of major banks, European Bank of England,
이렇게
US
발달한
Federal
현
Reserve. That money
시점에서도
should be frozen. In fact,
그렇게
it would
전쟁을
then be
일으킨다는 게
used to
너무
pay for
어이가
Ukrainian
없네요.
resistance. And finally, Representative Kissinger, in Congress yesterday was discussing the possibility of closing Ukraine's sovereign airspace. That is something that should also be considered. Folks, don't make any mistake about this.
우리나라가 저렇게
World's credibility,
침략을 받고 있을 상황에서 다른 나라들의 침묵이 얼마나
we are almost literally out of time, so very quickly, if you will.
미안합니다.
Peter and Taras, both of you, you are going back to fight. Are you willing to die?
I think, of course not. Nobody is going to die. But say to Ukrainian heroes, 11 Ukrainian sailors who rejected to surrender to Putin's navy on the Ukrainian island Zmyny, and all of them died. But still, Putin is going to lose in this battle with democracy, in his battle with Ukraine.
Glory to Ukraine, folks. Thank you for your support.
Peter Zalmayev and Taras Berezovets, thank you so much for your time. I admire your courage and your patriotism, and Godspeed. Thank you.
그 기사에서 봤을 때 러시아군 포로가 잡혔는데 자기네들은 그냥 훈련하는 줄 알았다고. 이게 말입니까? 진짜. 아유. 자기네들이 얼마나 무식한지를 보여주는 그런 발언이죠. 훈련인 줄 알았다. 장난치는 것도 아니고.
Or small, from one place to another, feel like handing it over with your own hands. And we make it happen thanks to thousands of great partners. For us, trade isn't about running boards. It's about opening portals.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly, whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch. For easy, fast and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
It's now or never. The climate crisis is real, people, and the clock is ticking. But here at Expo, I see hope.
Being close to nature help you to understand the world. The responsibility for the planet is on all of us, so we need to use new sources of energy.
We all hold the future of our planet in our hands, so let's love it and take care of it. Visit now.
Wednesday.
My fellow Americans.
President Joe Biden, his first State of the Union address. Anderson Cooper and Jake Tapper host. Special live coverage Wednesday on CNN.
I'm Kim Bern-Hoover, live at CNN Center in Atlanta. The fate of Ukraine's capital hangs in the balance as Russian forces reach the streets of Kyiv.
아이고야.
Russia says